Ziggity Zig back with the Friday Faff, and this is a game sent to me by Bomdagor between himself and Smokem down here in the bottom right of Frost Alley. There it is, right over there. I'm so happy to go see that over there, and I'm pissing around with the different things here. So this, I get production up there sort of next to each other, so this is different than the 1v1 split, but this gives us a bit more of an idea as to kind of what's going on, and I can see things in itself. Just a lot easy to do comparison. I kind of prefer this one, but it's still got these weird things over here, and I can zoom out fully, so booyah! Now, this is a game that Bomdagor sent to me. I'm... No spoilers here. I haven't watched this game at all, but it's really long. So I'm unsure how we're going to do it. And this is just said to me by Bomdagor, just saying it was an intense game. And an intense PvP is usually a good time, so let's hope to see a number of things, maybe some giant air battles, that kind of thing. So we'll just see what the two parties are going at. So chances are they do both seem to be sticking to a gate or a scout after the first building, which is... I don't want to say dangerous on a map this big, but on a four-player map, I'd think it would be a little bit dangerous. But we're going to head up towards the 150 mark, and we'll see what everyone's first building is going to be. It looks like Smokem's going to put down a gateway, and Bomdagor is going to, in just a moment, put down a... That's a very late GLHF. Maybe this is just going to be a long game because they're really slow at everything today, but perhaps they were taking too much Valium, or... What's the opposite of coffee? Orange juice. Orange juice slows you down. Red Bull gives you wings. I get water stuck in my throat. But here we go, and they are... So the scouting has begun for Bomdagor, and he's going to go in a clockwise manner, it does seem there, whereas Smokem's going to pick up both the simulators at the same time. So after Gateway, we are probably going to see either a robotics bay or a Stargate right away. He's doing a quick little location scout just to make sure there's nothing in his base, but no, I mean, they haven't even found each other just yet. There's the cybernetics core, slightly late, whereas in fact Bomdagor, actually no, it's a little earlier than Bomdagor's right now, but that could just be because, yeah, Smokem's APM is, nope, a little bit faster on average, but Bomdagor is racing him right now. Now, as far as the worker supply, they are both pretty much even, so this is going to be a very even game. No wonder it's going to be rather an intensity. There's a lot of buildings over here behind, and not sort of out in front. I mean, it is a PvP, and you don't want to wall off or anything like that, but what I usually like to do is make some sort of wall here so that you can't just kind of run in, put your buildings out in front of your pylon so we can't supply block you. But Bomdagor and I do kind of, I wouldn't say we differ on things, just Bomdagor knows stuff, and I just fly by the seat of my pants. So that's kind of our two gaming styles, is essentially even there. No or Chrono Boost going into the Cybernetics core there, and I think Bomdagor is usually of or about the same similar style. Going to be boosting out workers for economy. Yep, there you go. Well, actually, Bomdagor's a little bit behind. But there is Bomdagor having a quick look here and sees that, okay, double gas has been taken. Smokem still has no idea what's going on up there, but it just seems to be there are two gates there, enough pylons. It seems to be, yeah, that's just a three-stalker rush right now going on by Smokem, which on two, well, yeah, I suppose just 4 probes in gas is basically just kind of an easy way of doing things. Meantime, Bomdagor going with a 3-gate robo, just doing pretty standard play coming out of both players. All the Chrono is going certainly nowhere near the warp gate research, but since none of it is going in towards Smokem, neither player are looking at being all that speedy on things, but it's possible that while Bomdagor was down here in Smokem's base, he did see that Smokem was not putting any chrono into the warp gate. So now here is where Smokem tries to come up the ramp and realizes that he's going to run into 2 zealots, which are going to chase him away. So Smokem still has no idea, only sees that. Ooh, that was pretty lucky to catch that robotics facility. Now the downside to putting your robotics facility close to the front is it does get scouted pretty easily, despite you may be trying to hide some things that are going on, but of course you put the robotics bay back there. And the main reason that you do this, and I've been told this time and time again, is you just want to have it close there so that your units that come out of it, i.e. the Colossus or the Immortal, don't get stuck kind of moving in and around buildings. Now, this little force here is probably going to be strong against this force by Bomdagor, these 5 stalkers and a pro, but here is where they're actually gonna almost cross paths. But the thing is that Bomdagor does actually see those 5 those 5 stalkers heading that way. I'm not sure if he paid all that much attention to it, but no, not worrying too much about that. So we do have a couple of units here. These 2 stalkers are not quite going to be enough. There's nothing coming out of the robotics facility right now. But now, having seen this one small maneuver where this stalker, the lead stalker, does come out forward, and I don't know, if I were smokem, I probably would have kept going. Of course, you don't want to be in a situation where you get into a base race, because the base race is the worst part about the base race is that the base race is very, very unpredictable, and you don't know what you can do. These are a good number of forward defensive probes. I don't quite know what's going on here, so the worker supply is ahead for smokem, but you definitely be behind on the production level. You saw that where Bomdagor is actually up by about 40 minerals per second based on that, and this is going to ruin it even more. These zealots come down here and they're just trying to take out. I probably would have rushed the zealots in to take out the remainder of, or just a small number of probes. It seems that Bomdagor did not get any workers killed, did manage to kill off a couple units there, did not even manage to get a pylon, so that did not go as well as he wanted it to. However, that was mostly just a push. Here is the forward probe from smokem, and one single zealot being warped in there. So Bomdagor finally noticing that the best thing to do, since it seems to be a macro game, is to expand himself. So the 2 now continuing on. Bomdagor still has a slight army advantage right now, and the best advantage here is invisibility. So that is what he is going to use still. Nothing coming out of the robotics facility other than observers. So this is basically just an observer factory, and we're still only on the 3 gates. There goes the Twilight Council by Bomdagor, and meantime down in smokem's category, it's just seeing a couple more assimilators and the Void Ray starting up out of the Stargate, which I had not yet noticed. So there is the 3-gate, Stargate. There's Bomdagor right there. Asking me what's up. So this game is probably going to take me quite a long time. This game is not intense yet, but it will be. I just hit 4E. I always do that. Whenever I'm done typing, I just hit 4E. But it's good. So this one zealot up here by smokem, I'm not sure. Bomdagor does not know that it's there just yet. Other than the robotics facility, smokem does not really know what he's up against. However, Bomdagor does know that he's up against a Stargate, because he does see that down there. The saturation of the second base is continuing. Smokem certainly ahead in worker count, and once they finally... Yeah, there we go. So he finally got them. That's good, as long as doing good. What? And so that is really going to help out smokem, is moving those probes, because for whatever reason the probes were actually up here along the side. Smokem now deciding to get a 3rd base. And the 3rd base, where what's happening here is this... Oh, this warp prism is actually going to move on, and... I probably should have told him that I'm looking at his. These observers, if you look at Bomdagor's map awareness right now, he's actually looking at an excellent map awareness right there. It's your replay. And I just did that again, 4E. So there we go. And now that smokem does have a observer out, that is going to cause, and yep, now Bomdagor does see this 3rd one down here, but I'm not seeing... Oh wait, there we go. And so this warp prism is down here trying to get a number of units directly in there, but he does see the 3rd base, so that is probably going to cause a few consternation and problems, and pwah, this zealot is still just sort of sitting here, and absolutely nothing is going to happen there. Bomdagor getting a number of more gateways and charge on the way. Meantime, smokem is mostly just into the macro, the Twilight Council. There is a... So he's just kind of going robo... Void Ray, man, just kind of everything. But meantime, now that Bomdagor can see this 3rd base, and does have a little bit of vision just up over there, you know, a couple of stalkers just down there would be awesome. But apparently, oh, there we go, managing to get the Dark Templar straight in there. So having built the Dark Shrine, however, this cannon is going to be a bit of a problem. There are no cannons up here in the main, so this is going to be quite an issue for smokem, who is going to see a very large drop in income. And once again, this is what comes from not scouting whatsoever. Here they come with the observer down. So these Dark Templar do not last long. However, there is quite a bit of income killed right there. Killed 6 workers with 3 Dark Templars. Not entirely sure if that was the best exchange just there. Tries to get these these Stalkers to follow the Warp Prism out, but it does not quite make it. Now, if we go back to this... we have another Nexus apparently on the way where, and, yeah, Bomdagor did see that that fourth base was going down as well. So now it's 4 base against, and Bomdagor is quite a bit behind, so trying to get the third right there. And this is what sparks the Zealot to finally come into action and run down the ramp and start trying to decide if he could destroy a small number of probes, checking out everything. So now smokem does realize that Bomdagor is taking a third base. This is probably the entire reason for it to be here. Here are 4 total Zealots now taking this on. 4 bases total. Bomdagor now just trying to expand and try to keep up with the economy, which is about the only way he can stay in this game. Number of gateways, only 5 gateways at the moment. The number of buildings right now, but actually down here by smokem is kind of limited, to be frank. And here again is this small mob. So they're actually still on the exact same number of production buildings, pretty close to. Where do I get that one? Oops. Not B, I can tell you that. We want to see structures is T. So we have, robotics bay, 2 stargates, 3 warp gates. Is that it? Are you serious? Alright, so, well, we've actually seen a little bit of this, and now here we go. Smokem does manage to now see this base additionally. So now 4 base on 4 base. They're all pretty much the exact same. However, this base is going to suffer a little bit of difficulty. Smokem bringing out a goodly number of probes. Here come all the probes. Are you rallying your Nexi? Is that what's going on? I don't fully understand this bit, but now there we go. Smokem's figured out what's going on, and these Dark Templar will be able to save this base. These units return back. I think this was a rally problem by smokem, but what's able to happen here is that Bomdagor does seem to be swimming in quite a lot of minerals. I think a number of pylons right now, as well as some more gateways, especially at each base, maybe grabbing in a little bit more gas and continuing on. I think the Dark Templars are going to help in this match. There they go. They're actually searching out, just trying to see if there are any more than 4 bases, because right now that's all Bomdagor does know of is the 4 bases. And smokem does know roughly that there are 4 bases, but has no idea what's going on over here. It's too bad that Bomdagor did not know the extent that his opponent had no scouting, because now, actually, Bomdagor can move into... There we go. So there's some Void Ray play going on right there. A Phoenix... Double Phoenix right now for Bomdagor, which is an intriguing play, possibly just seeing that there are Void Rays on the field, and that is essentially where you want to go from there. But Void Ray, Immortal, Stalker, I don't even know what's going on here. So this is a gold game, but definitely a bit more higher caliber than I would be used to. So everyone just trying to get their ducks in a row, getting ready to have their... Oh, no, that's workers killed. What do I want? I want worker supplies very high in smokem's favor. Now the income tab is definitely very high, even higher in smokem's favor, but he is keeping his resources very, very low. So is it the upgrades that maybe we have right there? But it seems that smokem is going to get yet more. There we go. There's the robotics bay. There's all the buildings and units right there. Here come a few more Dark Templar, and in fact a Dark Shrine being built here in the main base. There it is, just there. And here come a few more Dark Templar have come in with the Warp Prism, and they're not really going to last all that long. However, another number of workers killed, which is kind of making a dent, but not fully making a dent, because smokem is still certainly quite far ahead right now, the number of everything. But if Bomdagor can start getting back into this game, keeping his resources low, keeping his army size high, then there's a good chance that he's still quite well in this game. Twilight Council, there are... I can't even tell what kind of research that is happening there. No, I can't actually see what has or has not been started. Oh, wait, if I hit upgrades, we find that Bomdagor does have Blink and Charge, and Air Weapons 1. Not quite sure why the Air Weapons 1 had to be done, but there you go. Here are a few small units, just a small patch of Dark Templar. That was awesome. Dark Templar and Zealots on their way out. So send the Zealots over here where they know that they will get killed, but the Dark Templar moving up towards this base. That is going to be a bad scene. It's Dark Templar versus Dark Templar, which is going to be kind of interesting. These Templar are probably going to have a bit of damage done to them, but these Zealots are not going to last all that long. These Dark Templar, however, are going to do quite well. I don't think there is an observer up here in Bomdagor's base, and that's going to be kind of unfortunate. There comes the observer. Well done on his edit. It's going to be Dark Templar versus Dark Templar, which you do not see all that often, except for at the end of Brood War, when I think that was kind of the deal. Dark Templar are all over the place, and it just kind of is a Templar versus Templar, so the only thing left for smokem to do is get the Dark Templar out of there. And this, again, small, doesn't quite seem like a big enough army size, and yes, it's 97 army over 72, and the worker supply is actually quite favoring smokem, which you can spot even in the income tab. It's even piping and getting up enough for another base there. As 5th base, there is one more Dark Templar on their way out. Here come a few more up to the top, but I think this is still where the the Observer has moved his way out of there, and smokem is just trying to take down some of these bases, just trying to do a little bit of damage. This is definitely going to take care of this Nexus. There's going to be no 4th base anymore for Bomdagor, which is going to be bad news. And then they are just going to go out of their way. So here comes the Observer to see what's going on, and apparently the Dark Templar just decide, okay, we're not going to be a part of that anymore. So Bomdagor actually did see this 5th base up here, but it was not able, or just chose not to do anything further about it, and now is trying to get all of his observers, observers. That's what I said, observers. Now smokem is getting in here, and I think the one thing you want to do as smokem is take down this, and I don't think gas is really the focal point here. Bomdagor just having a kind of a tricky time dealing with the rest of these Dark Templar. They're just moving their way in. However, these charge lots are going to come in and make a mess of this 5th base. The only problem here is these Phoenix now come in, but they can't do anything about this. And so what is happening with smokem is just trying to take out a lot of supply. I don't know why I didn't go for the Dark Shrine. That usually does quite a lot more damage, but Bomdagor is trying to just remove this 5th base and try to take out a few things, and for the cost of that number of Zealots, that definitely was quite worth it, but that called out the entire army of smokem, which is now Archon, Void Ray, Stalker-ish. This 4th base, I can't even describe how, when there are only 20 health left to it, smokem just removed everything from it. Now these two Dark Templar by Bomdagor are going to try to do a fair number of damage. Smokem just runs his army back over top of it a number of times, and there is absolutely no observer to be seen, which I can't even... I thought he had observers. He did have a robotics bay. He even has 2. And now, but they do come within range of the cannon, and that is going to be the end of those Dark Templar. So it seems to be sight versus no sight is the focal point of this game, and here comes probably, yeah, a number of cannons just to be able to spot the incoming Dark Templar. They will be the first thing that smokem will probably go after. Now here is another, so yeah, just trying to make sure that he's got an observer or some kind of detection in each base, or in each group. Does not quite have it, so now going very, very sky heavy at the moment, but I'm not seeing a fleet beacon from either. Do we have a fleet beacon by either? Yep, there we go. So they do. Bomdagor does have a fleet beacon, but not really seeing much out of it aside from just some more ground weapons, some more air weapons. As a Templar Archives finally coming down by smokem, so we're probably going to see either a little bit of Storm or what else do you get out of Templar Archives? Is it those are the energy ones. Those come into the robotics facility help bay. Robotics Bay. I'm still... The Robotics Bay and the Robotics Support Bay, those are the ones from StarCraft 1, and I still have those fairly well ingrained in my head. These two army sizes, I'm just a little bit worried about Bomdagor's army size, especially the amount of money that these two opponents seem to be floating, and there's just not quite enough of pylons going down right here for Bomdagor to get himself up to that 200 zone. Now there's 5-6 going down for smokem right now, even though he's already at 200, so there's just that additional piece where up on 5 bases now, getting the 6th base down, getting the 7th base down, he's just going full on into just money. But the problem there is that as far as the structures go, he still only has... I mean, he's got 16 cannons, but only, well, 13 gates is probably quite a bit better. So just the upgrades now, so we're at a 2. Oh, wow. 02? 02 Zealots headed down here up against 222 Zealots, so quite a lot of upgrades right now for smokem. Smokem getting into the 7-8 8 bases right now, just moving in some disposable zealots. Most of the army sticking back over at the main. Where are they? At the main base, and here they are. This little. I think this is the one. If smokem loses this game, it's going to be because of ridiculous crap like this. So here come a few more, and yep, a few more charge lots down here. The O2, but the 2/2 Dark Templar with no vision from Bomdagor is definitely going to put more of a problem in there. There was a small number down there, and there is another Dark Templar force on their way down to this base. Hopefully Bomdagor is going to have a look and see how close he can get, and yes, does see this, so moves downward. Probably going to make quite a mess down here, because unlike his opponent smokem, Bomdagor is is going to not leave with just 20 hit points. There's no vision right now by smokem, so leaving a couple of Dark Templar to just stay right there, but here's more Dark Templar heading up to one of Bomdagor's bases, and they are going to go straight for, yep, cannon number 1, cannon number 2. Let's see if these zealots do anything about these units, as there's enough cannons and redundant cannons just to do quite a bit of damage. Here comes a number more of Dark Templar. It just seems to be a bit of a Dark Templar war. Bomdagor desperately trying to get in here and do something about this, but with this number of cannons sort of redundantly placed in, so it's now cannons versus Dark Templar versus cannons versus Dark Templar. Kind of a four-way battle between all of these armies. Smokem's still trying to get something going, and he forgets to put back his 6th, 7th base, one of the bases, I don't even know. But Bomdagor does manage to clean out these units here while also taking a 5th, but smokem decides not to notice that at all. These Dark Templar also make their way through and do not have anything happen from there. Now, you'd think a few High Templar now moved into some Archons based on the income levels. Oh my goodness, look at these income levels, and smokem is actually falling well short just now, probably because of oversaturation or the number of bases that he's just trying to maneuver his probes in between. However, with this number of Archons, so it's going to be Charge Lot versus Archon, which is kind of an interesting maneuver, and this is when these Phoenix come out. The problem is with Phoenix is I don't think they cannot pick up the Archons. They can pick up the Immortals, but the Archons are going to be a hard time. So hopefully trying to just focus down these Archons with the Void Rays. Smokem's Void Rays are trying to focus down the Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes will take care of Smokem's Void Rays, and that was actually a very, very big win for Bomdagor, even if it does not seem like he's fully in charge right now. But yes, it does seem, oh my goodness, that just obliterated that army. Here comes another few more zealots up here onto Bomdagor's 4th. No, wait, it's 3rd base. I don't know. Bomdagor is quite mined out in a number of different places. He's going to have to expand or die. These Dark Templar need to start making a little bit of coin, making a little bit of money, but we're up here against this number of Archons. So once these cannons finish, then the Dark Templar are not going to be doing anything. So what they're trying to do now is just sort of move around and make sure that there are not even more bases having been taken. But the big problem right now for smokem is that he does not seem... There we go. So there is this amount of workers just coming down here, and that is really going to help his economy. Losing this base at the timing that it did happen, and now here comes smokem up here to take yet another base. Just about every single base is now taken, with the possible exception of, we've got 3 unclaimed bases, despite the fact this one I believe was claimed but then wasn't. So here comes Bomdagor's forces are now moving as a whole, and as a whole, with this kind of army advantage, he now sees how he does have this to his advantage. Here come a number of Archons. The problem with these Archons is they're going to be able to take out the Phoenix, and the Phoenix are not going to be very useful, aside from just being sort of cannon fodder to the Archons. But this army moving in towards this side here is, yep, Bomdagor is able to completely obliterate that army, moves in these Dark Templar in behind the units, so is able to sort of sneakify around the back. There is a ridiculous number of observers here at the base. Smokem's big problem in this game is unit management, where he just moved out so many probes to the middle of the map, so many units just sort of sitting out in the middle of nowhere, not knowing what they're doing, and I just don't think that he has the unit management to win this game. He does have the economy, he does have the macro, he does have the ability to extend out from the start here, from his different bases, and just continue on with that style of play. But the problem is when it comes down to it, and he warps in all these units, but all of his units are also just going out to the middle of nowhere, and they cannot maintain their hold on the map because they are not all in the same place. If you look at this, Bomdagor was actually behind for a good number of this game, but only finally when he started to get all his units together and move them as a whole, with or without these Phoenixes, which cannot really take out the majority, well, not the majority, but the important units, they just were not able to do anything. There is a high Templar, and it's going to get taken out, hopefully, by the... Anything? Anything? Yes. Okay, did see that. Left one building right there. Does not see any of these observers, but once these observers come in and... Oh my goodness, it's an observer shooting range! I've never seen so many observers. There's about 10 on the screen at one given time. Here comes some probes. So these probes here, by smokem, does see Bomdagor's base just on this corner, so his 5th base at the moment, but there's a number of other bases. Smokem just constantly expanding and just trying to get a few more units out right now, but the only thing that he seems to be getting is just some zealots. I don't quite understand why the zealots are coming out. Bomdagor needs to continue the pressure with this army. Here they go. They're going to move around a little bit further, and here comes some zealots. So just making some zealots just to see and check and see what is going on down at this base. But now comes Bomdagor's units. They are all making their way down. These zealots are only going to be able to take down these 2 cannons before anything shows up. So Bomdagor is probably going to be able to live for these Phoenix. Moving in with the Phoenix as the fastest unit, they basically show up first as the paramedics of the situation, and as a paramedic does, just levitate everyone in the air. That's first responders right there. You do CPR, and then you just levitate them. Now back on Smokem's side, he has managed to get all his probes in the right place, aside from this 35/24, and probably could mix them up. So just a little bit more of base management, and now Smokem actually realizes that this Archon is stuck. So this being pretty much 100% Smokem's army, actually no, 33% of Smokem's army, is now going to be what is going up against these Void Rays, these Dark Templar, these Zealots, and these Phoenixes. Now, the thing about the Phoenixes, we have mentioned this before, is that they cannot pick up the Archons. This is going to go kind of interestingly. Warping in a number more of Zealots, and of course some more observers. The Void Ray versus Void Ray did not go well because the Void Ray was a little bit slanted in one direction to Bomdagor's favor. There is just one lowly cannon here at the back. Smokem deciding not to move out his army against this because really there wasn't all that much left to this base anyway, so this is just one more nexus. It's not going to be able to do anything with. Bomdagor's income is now, it's still slightly on par. The gas income is quite a bit higher, which when you're focusing in late game, you do want to have more of the gas heavy units, so you want to make sure that your gas isn't running out. Here comes Smokem's army, and he does manage to take out the front of Bomdagor's army, but Bomdagor does have quite a lot behind this, so now Smokem is suffering from the problem. Oh, it does get a Templar Storm, despite the fact that he was a little bit bottlenecked by many of the things. If Bomdagor had stayed up at the top of this ramp and not engaged this, he probably would have done a little bit better, but I do think that at this point, Bomdagor just is far and away, well, not far and away, but at least two times the army size right here, and even with some well-placed High Templar Storms, it's just not enough. These Void Rays are just cleaning everything up. I believe they have, yeah, there we go, they're at 2-3, no wait, 3-2, one of the two. They're at 3-2 right now. There are no ground units left for Bomdagor, I do not think. No, apparently there's a few Dark Templar in there somewhere, but these Zealots are coming up here to try to destroy this one again. Here come the Dark Templar, they're moving in towards this base, but this is not going to go well because the cannons are going to light him up, and then the Stalkers are going to continue to light them up. Now, these Zealots are doing a fair bit of damage against this base down here. It's going to walk right past this one with these Zealots, but oh, there are some Dark Templars, so now they just need to turn around, go back and get him, go back and get him. Alright, fine. He's probably focusing on a lot of things down here, just trying to take out the main base of Smokem, and I think he did manage to get the Templar, or not the Templar Archives, but the, I want to say the Dark Shrines. There's no Dark Shrine left, so most of the tech is now being destroyed. The only thing left really defending things is the standing army of Smokem and a number of cannons, which are mostly just here in the middle. So nothing else going on. There's a robotics facility going down for Smokem, who is just trying to stay in this game despite the fact that it's just not really working. Here are two Zealots. They're just doing a little bit of damage over here. And here is yet another one of Bomdagor's bases, which is probably going to see a bit, yeah, quite a bit of destruction. However, this main base with all of the tech, the warp gate, the stargates, everything that's moving in there, that is what Smokem wants to get at. That's exactly where he wants to be. Now, he's just taking down pylons, so he is supply blocking Bomdagor, at least bringing down the number of the highest point of his army at some point. Now, this is quite... I wouldn't exactly call this a base race, because the bases are just so spread out all over the place. The next thing that probably should happen is these Phoenixes could head back here and do something about this, but oh no, it looks like Bomdagor has decided to do something about it himself with a bunch of Dark Templar. So the next thing, probably just want to, grab a few more pylons just up or along in this direction. Now, the Dark Templar are just deciding to, without much in the way of vision, try to babysit each of these bases as they can. Here comes a number more. I'm not entirely certain where these guys are headed. They may be headed up just to... Yeah, they're headed up over here to go and see if they can... Oh, there we go, just in time, because what Smokem is just doing is he's actually moved out his units just at the exact same time to try to do something about that, but these Void Rays are coming down here to destroy this base, and this base is probably one of the heaviest gateway-heavy bases left, and there's there's a couple gateways over here, but just the number of them that are up on this side. Bomdagor not even bothering with most of these pylons or cannons and things like that, just trying to whittle Smokem down, so he's got absolutely no army right now. Now, Bomdagor's actually ahead in the income and money-making tab by a factor of 1 or 2 to 1, approximately 2 to 1, and here come these... Oh, these units here, these 2 stalkers coming up here to say, oh, we're gonna see what's happening with all of these Dark Templar. We hear you're under attack, and then they get completely obliterated. There go a number more of observers. Bomdagor, I don't know, keeping the observers kind of expanded and spaced out. I just don't fully understand why they're all running around in packs. But here comes yet another forge, because I guess it was the single forge. So yeah. With Smokem not even able to make any cannons right now, but with 3,500 minerals, that's going to be an awful lot of cannons. Here come the Phoenixes, and the Phoenix really are just sort of an advanced party, checking things out and just making sure that there are only 3 bases left, just to see how big everything is. And now, in behind that, here come the Void Rays just to clean everything else up. Bomdagor's income levels are dwindling quite a bit, just because he hadn't been able to move all of his... probes down to his 3rd and 4th, or 5th and 6th, I forget which bases those were. Bomdagor trying to get yet another base up there, but these Void Rays are pretty much going to topple these out, and I'm not sure how many of these. Oh, that's quite a number of probes that are escaping with a goodly amount of money, and I think they might even be able to set up another base. And here comes the last final main base of Smokem, and yes, that's it. Even with the probes escaping, and even with a few buildings remaining, Smokem does end in defeat here to Bomdagor, who's stuck in there despite being outbased almost 2 to 1 number of bases. It was but 7 bases to 3 at one point, but I think the problem that Smokem had is he kept his minerals far too high and was not generating enough units or enough production buildings in some of his expanded bases, and that does quite a lot to your chances of winning. If you can't tell, for the most part, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but these games are really exciting and fun. So, leave me a comment down below, send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ziggityzig. This was the Friday Faff from Bomdagor. I'll try to link to Bomdagor's YouTube channel down below. He has much better commentary and analysis than I do, and has a much better idea on the game. I think that almost ruined my voice. Stay tuned.